Make sure you watch until the end to see how you can win free gear and products. Hey, this is PJ with CLK Supplies. And today I'm going to show you something that you're going to have to know how to do if you're servicing the small format interchangeable core locks, also known as SFIC. Now, if you're not familiar with this series at all, in the links below, I'll put a link to the part 1 and part 2. Now, part 1 was understanding the SFIC cores, keys, and locks, and part 2 was understanding how to do the math for the SFIC A2 system. Now, today in part 3, I'm going to be covering how to figure out a control key for an existing small format interchangeable core lock. Now, this is going to be common where if you were to go up to rekey a building and you notice that they're all the SFIC locks, and you ask the customer if they have the control keys so you can get the cylinders out, and they tell you no, well, that's where this part's going to come in here. It's really just, another day in the life of a locksmith who works on the SFIC locks. The good news is once you get the core out, okay, I have this chart we made that I'm going to go over here in a minute that's going to walk you step by step on how to actually get the control key bitting so you can take the rest of the cores out and rekey them and get the job done. But before I get there, I just want to talk about the options of getting the cores out. Now, this is the deal. When the SFIC cores are in the locks, you really only have a couple options, okay? The first option is going to be to pick it to the control, okay, which you can use a specialized pick that goes down and grabs the little control bar and is going to slide it over. Or the other option is to essentially, destroy a lock to get the core out. Now, this typically isn't that bad of an option if you have a like a mortise cylinder or a rim cylinder that you can take out. That's pretty easy, but I mean, it's tough if you're actually going to have to destroy something more. Now, there are techniques also that you can drill through the core, not do any damage except for kind of get rid of that sidebar. So those are the options, and I'm not going to cover those in this video. If you guys have interest in that, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to do a video on the different techniques to get those cores out. But for this video, we're going to talk about if you actually have a core in your hand, so you've already gotten it out of the lock, and it's time to decode it to figure out the control key bitting so you can take the rest of the cores out with ease. Let's get started. Now here's a PDF that we put together that's going to take you step by step through this entire process. You can go to the notes below and you can download this, and it's going to be very helpful since we've already done the math for you. Now, taking a core like this and figuring out what the control key bitting in is actually much simpler than you might think. All you have to do, okay, is we're going to eject all the pins out of this core, and then we're going to measure the top pin. Now, what I mean by top pin is literally the top pin, okay? And if you look at this little diagram right here, you'll see there's the bottom pin, then here's some other little master pins, and then the top pin is the one that we're going to measure, okay? And once we figure out the number of this top pin, we're going to take 13, just the number 13, and we're going to minus it by that top pin number, and that's going to be our control key bitting for that space, okay? So we've already done the math over here for you and also put the increments to make it easy for you. So if you were to measure the top pin and it ended up being a 0.050, then that would be a top pin number 4. And so if you go 13 minus 4, you're going to get a 9, okay? And that's going to be what the control key bitting is, and so on and so forth down this entire chart here. So the first step is we're going to figure out what the top pin number is. Then we're going to convert it to the control key bitting. We're going to double check our work, and then we're going to fill out this chart here as we go along. That's going to make sure that we know what we're doing and we don't get confused on what space is what. So we have this little chart here so you can use it for the whole process. And so now that we kind of have a base of this, and as I go through and I do this, it'll really make a lot more sense to you. So let's go ahead here, and I'm going to slide this paper off to the side for now, and I'll bring it back in as we go. And I'm going to bring out the annex and the ejector tool, and we also have the core, and then I'm going to be using our A2 pin gauge to make quick work of figuring out what the actual size is. Let's get started. So the first thing we'll do here is take out, or make sure we have the arrow in right here for the annex. This is a great decoder. Now you can do this with any sort of decoder, even like the Lockvoy heavy duty one. You just have to go one chamber at a time, and you have to be very, very careful. But if you do have an annex or can use an annex, it's going to make your life just a little bit easier. Okay, so we're going to go and I'm going to flip it upside down, just like you see here. I'm going to go ahead and put the core in just like that. Okay, let me show you. There you go. Once we have that in place and we have it all aligned, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take our ejector pin. Okay, we're going to get it put down into the first chamber. We're going to grab our little hammer here. Just like that. We're just going to eject that out. Okay, we're going to go chamber by chamber. Just like that. Now don't beat it too hard, just kind of go a little bit and, you know, let the hammer and the ejector do the work here. Okay. One more here. I think this is a 6-pin. Yep, there we go. Okay, now it's important to note that I actually don't know what this control key bitting is. So I haven't practiced this. You know, we're just going to do this together, okay? And so if you see me fumbling around or thinking, that's why. So once we have that out, okay, we're going to go and take this out, and you can see this whole thing is empty. Now, remember, so now I'm going to pull this out. Now, this is very, very important, okay? Where the hinges here is where the core is. So when we're decoding it, we have to make sure we know that we're decoding it properly or the right way, or then we're going to get confused or we're going to have problems, okay? Now, when you're doing this, okay, you've probably worked really hard to get this core out to figure out what the control key bitting is so we can get the rest of them out. So you really don't want to mess this up, because if you do, you have to start at the very beginning again. And let's face it, none of us want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this off to the side here. I'm going to put this core right here because I kind of want it aligned with the core with the pins, just to help me remember what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to gently and slowly, I'm going to open this up, okay? So that's all of the cores from inside of, or all the pins from the inside of this core. Now is what we're going to do is decode the actual top pin, okay? Now, let me bring this up carefully, give you a closer look, okay? So what you're going to see is you're going to see the cap, you're going to see the spring, then you're going to see the top pin, and the bottom pin is right up here on top. Let me grab this, make it a little easier. Okay, so we're going to grab that bottom pin that's right here. So what we want to actually measure is going to be this pin right here, this pin right here, this pin right here, that one, and that one, okay? So let's go ahead. Now I'm going to just take this actually, and I'm going to just leave everything intact, all right? Move it up like that. I'm going to move this pin over. Then I'm just going to grab my tweezers here, and I'm going to grab that out of there, okay? Now, this is where you could use, some calipers, and then you can measure the inches, and then you can, use our little chart here, convert it, no problem, okay? But we have this handy, A2 pin gauge that we're going to be able to just do a quick reference and be done with it. So we're going to go ahead and get this put in here, and I'm just going to find the one that it's going to fit in, okay? So I'm just holding it. Let's see. Oop, just dropped it. Not good. Let's see. Right there. There we go. So this is a number 11. So it's too small to fit in the 10, as you can see right there. Fits perfect right there in that 11. Okay. So now if we go to our chart here, we can see 11 is a number 2 control key bitting. So let me just move this over here a little bit, and let's fill out this chart. Okay, so space number 1, or excuse me, space number 6, okay, because how the keys work, the tip is the first cut, the shoulder is the last cut, and this is up kind of by the shoulder, so this would be number 6. So the top pin size was a number 11. When we go to our chart here, 11 is a number 2 control key bitting, so we're going to put a 2 there, okay? Now is what we're going to do, because we just want to be on the absolute safe side, is I'm going to take this top pin and I'm going to put it right back in there. Now let's go to the next one. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take this, I'm going to push all the pins up. just like that. Make some room in here for that top pin. Go to grab my tweezers and pull it out. Now take our pin gauge. I'm gonna hold it up here. Let's see what size it is. Okay, so that's gonna be a number 8. Okay, so that's a number 8. So let me go ahead and put this back with my tweezers. And we go over here and we're gonna put in on our chart that this was a number 8. We do the math conversion, that means it's gonna be a cut number 5. All right, let's go to the next one and we'll just proceed through this whole process right now here. So I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit. All right, there we go. So that's gonna be a number 12. That's gonna be a number 11 as well. Okay, it's a number 8. Like that, maybe number 12. Look on the chart here, that's gonna be a number 1. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna set it off to the side, set the core off, set everything else off to the side, just like that. And here we go. So by decoding this lock using our chart here, this is what we need to cut the key to right here, okay? The 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 2. So let's go ahead now and let's cut the key and let's try it in the lock. All right, now that we have our code, let's go ahead and let's punch out a key and give it a try. So I wouldn't have here the ProLock Blue Punch A2 system punch right here. So let's go ahead and let's punch it out here real quick. All right, and it's important to note that, you know, on the blue punch up here when I was punching, the reason the code is written the way the code is written here is because it actually looks like this, okay? Let me hold it up this way. So if you look at the cuts and you look at it, how it goes, because when you cut the A2 keys, you actually start at the tip, not the up here by the bow like you're used to like on a Schlage key. So that's why, let me set that down there, you can see it better. So that's why it looks like that. So you don't want to get confused, or you have to make sure if you write it down the opposite way, you just got to make sure you're punching it the opposite way. So as long as we're on the same page as far as that goes, we're going to be good to go. Now it's time to try the key. All right, so if you take the key here, put it in and give it a shot, you'll see that it turns the control just perfect. Now at this point, you can go ahead and use the key to take out the remaining cores so you can rekey, service, or repair whatever you need to do. All right, and that is how you can decode an existing SFIC A2 core to figure out what the control key bitting is. Make sure you download that PDF in the notes below as a good reference tool to walk you through step by step on how to get the job done. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Since you just watched this video, I'm guessing that you work with locks and keys. And to us at CLK Supplies, that makes you a lock boss. And we wanna hook you up. Here's how it works. Throughout the week, join the conversation and comment on our posts and videos and include the hashtag LockBoss. It's free to enter this giveaway. And every Tuesday, we're gonna pick 5 winners from the previous week and hook you up with all sorts of prizes, including gear, tools, supplies. We might even send you a key machine or buy you lunch. So if you're a lock boss, join us every week to learn, grow, and win.